Hey everyone, it's the Toymaker Reviews, and this is something quite out of the ordinary. Usually I am behind the camera, but this time I'm in front of it. And for today's video, we are looking at the 15th Doctor's Tardis electronic from B&M. Now, before I get into all the packaging details and just going over the whole set and reviewing it, this is probably the most controversial sort of release from B&M / Character Options, because it's been riddled with issues. And a lot of these issues mostly have to do with the police box signage. Hello everyone, it's the Toymaker, and welcome to my 15th Doctor TARDIS review. But before we get into it, I want to address some issues first. And the reason why I want to do this is because if I do my review first, then that leaves a problem of I'm not addressing issues that are very apparent with this release. Therefore, I would overlook these things and just, have a kind of a biased view. So while I did record this review first and all that, I don't think I addressed these issues at the time, but we're going to do it right now. Starting off from, I got my list here, from Custom Who on Twitter, or Twix as I like to call it. As you can see on the screen here, they had a molding issue. And essentially what this is, and what it looks like, the plastic was poured in and it was pulled too quickly, or the plastic didn't push into that spot 100%. So when they pulled it, it took off, it doesn't look like it was molded properly anyway. So it was pulled too quickly, or not enough plastic was in there. What's even more bizarre about it is that it went past quality control. I don't know how that would happen, but anyway, that's one issue. The next issue is from Jinx, or Jinx, and they said this is what their TARDIS looked like. There is a crack in this corner post, and I don't know what could have caused that. It could be the screw, it could be a variety of different factors, but still, it went past quality control. Let's move on to the next bit. Some people are missing parts. Now, I can't confirm that, but there have been some words about some people missing parts on their TARDIS. Now, that could be referring to the signs, like these stickers up here. It could be referring to anything of the such. But anyway, let's move on. This comes from MJHC. On their TARDIS, they have some scratches on one door of two boxes. I'm not sure how that could even happen, or how, again, that goes past quality control, but that's another issue. Oh, Some of them don't have weathering on the side, or in whatever part of their box. Again, what is going on with that? Another quality control problem? Who knows? And from the same person, one of the issues is the stickers or top signs here, the police public callbox signage. They're not cut properly, and some of them are not even glued on properly. It's like, I'll even show here, like even on like the real bottom like edges of the top and bottom signs, they're not glued in properly. With like a tiny bit of glue. So as soon as that lets go, these sign boxes come off, like these labels. And there have been reports of people buying their boxes, and when they open up the packaging, their sign boxes have fallen off. Like these stickers here. Another quality control issue. And that seems to be the most common problem. I've even noticed on my boxes, of which I bought several of. Now, before you beat me over the head for buying 5 boxes, it is in fact a sample size, because I wanted to see how many out of my boxes that I have bought are absolute duds. Now, interestingly, all 5 are okay, apart from 2. One has a paint issue, of which you can see here around the window on the left door. And the other one is a paint issue around the handle, of which you can see here on the right door. That was on another box. So what I did was, I took it apart and I swapped the left door to make one good box, which is this one, and one bad box, which is this one on screen. So I swapped them, one good and then one bad for whatever project I'm going to do. And that leads me into what I was about to say. Paint app issues. A lot of people have what seems to be paint problems. And considering all these problems, it begs the question if this Tardis, this specific release, was sped up in production to get all these numbers produced before a certain deadline. Now that could be the case, I could be mistaken on that. But when you have a list of problems, it certainly looks that way. Now, my rough sample size of 5 boxes, with 2 out of the 5 being kind of crap, it makes me think, as a rough estimate, that 3 out of 5 boxes are perfectly fine. There's no problem. So, around 35% of the stock of these boxes are full of problems? Well, they could be. I'm not entirely sure. But it certainly begs the question, doesn't it? So essentially, you have a slim chance, that you would get a Tardis that is not faulty. So, getting back to this, I think the packaging, which you will see close-ups of, I really like the overall design they've done for the 15th Doctor, 13, 14, whatever, packaging, because it just looks nice, you know? It's pretty cool. Updated to the 15th Doctor's era, like the retail figures. We'll get into that in another video. And yeah, let's just start looking at the packaging overall. So this is the front, and see it's got new TARDIS interior. So we've got TARDIS interior cards with this set. which is awesome because we didn't have it in the 13th Doctor's Tardis, or actually any B&M release as far as I remember. No interior card. So to have it with this one, that's fabulous. And it's electronic. So that's already a great deal. Bottom of that is featuring light and sound effects. That's what we want to hear. Scale Collector Series, 5.5 inches. 15th Doctor, limited edition B&M. The 15th Doctor TARDIS, electronic vehicle. I'm pretty sure I should say TARDIS. But it is a space vessel, a vehicle, so I'll give them that. With lights and sound effects. Yeah, so that's the front. Now going to the side, you can see that it has a window displaying the side of the TARDIS, and it looks quite nice. I like that. And here's the back of the packaging, and if you want to read all that stuff, you can pause and read it if you wish. I'm not going to, because I just don't want to, so you can read it if you want. And then back to the other side, you can read that same writing. And then here's the bottom of the box. Here's the top. And now we're back to the front. So, overall, I think the packaging looks really nice. It's decent. And let's look at it out of the box. But first, I'm going to teach you how to take it out. So, when it comes to opening this thing, what you want to do, here's the top. You're going to have one sticky thing here, and one here. Now, let's get our trusty blade out, and we just cut that. Cut this one here. Now, what you want to do is pull this out. Alright, I'm going to set this right here so you can see it. And inside this box you're going to, oh, what's this? Well, let's take this out. Let's see what this is. That's the box there. Now, if you didn't know this, you're going to know now. This is an extra feature. Now, it says new TARDIS interior on this box. Okay? So what they didn't tell you is that there is a swappable card that you can place inside your TARDIS or spare TARDIS, or if you have the original 13th Doctor release, you can put that in there. Yeah, it's decent. It's a nice insert. Personally, I don't think this is the best image to use. I think they should use the actual prop backdrop that was in the actual TARDIS props during filming, which had a light box behind it. But for a toy, it is just a toy, so it really doesn't matter. So this works perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it, really. Although I will say, this is slightly too wide. The ends should be 2.5 inches shorter. Because if you want to swap the cards, you're not going to be able to get it out. And the reason why I say that is because I've opened several of these, but I've only taken the interior card out of one, and that was without taking it apart. It is incredibly difficult to do. So, good luck if you want to swap the cards. Over here, actually, you know what? I'm going to put it back into here because I'm not going to be using this. So your box is going to look like this when you take it out of the packaging. So, as usual, screws. Fun. If I remember, let's just hope, alright, let's just hope that this is the right size for it. Yep, it is. Okay, good. So, you want to take those out. I have a hard time with this. Sometimes my hands work, sometimes they don't want to. And most times I'm just too impatient to give a shit. Alright? Done. Slides right out, even with the little plastic lid that goes on top. So let's just move the box out of the way. There you go. That's the insert of where the box is, the Vortex. I really like this packaging design. It reminds me of the old 2005 RTD1 era style packaging. Quite nostalgic. And if people are fans of the new Disney era, fans that are young and have grown up with the Disney era are going to look back at this and say, that is nostalgic. Just the same as I was when it comes to the 2005 packaging. So this reminds me a lot about that. And I know it's a useless bit in this video, but I just really appreciate that. I think it's nice. Here's what I don't like about the B&M releases. I don't know why we need these plastic tags, because the problem is it bends the outward posts, and it also bends the doors. This has been a problem for the longest time, and I don't know why they have it like that, because it just bends it, and that's not good. So, before it used to be just a piece of tape that would leave this door open. Or, not open, but closed, and it preventing it from being opened. Anyway, I'm going to stop complaining. Essentially, this back tab is got tape on it, so you just gotta get your finger in there. There we go. And we just see, I'm just pulling that tape off. Now, some may struggle with this, but very simply, you want to pick which either side. I'm going to use this one, and you just feed it through the door and just pull that out. Stupid thing that nobody cares about. Throw it away. It's garbage. Now, let's look at the box. Coke, by the way, not affiliate. At least the stickers are intact. So, in terms of features, the paint is different than the original 13th Doctor Tardis. That one was more green, this one is more blue. But, what's interesting is that at different lights and angles, much like the actual prop, this does look green, but it also looks blue. But it also looks dark black. It's interesting, isn't it? It's really interesting. This can show up in various different colors at different angles and such. So it can look green, it can look really blue, it can look dark. It's really intriguing, and I love this paint job. At one point I thought, it's too blue, it's not good enough. It should be more green. But I look at photos, and even ones I have already on my shelf, they look green. Then they look blue. Then they look dark. It's a perfect paint. So I can't criticize the paint for being inaccurate because it is accurate. That's my stance on it. I think the paint is accurate. Nothing has changed apart from the paint job and these painted on notches, which I'll give a close-up later. You can see these notches that are painted on black line. We didn't have that on the original release, though it would have been nice to have it actually modified into the tooling, where these notches could be just, an actual real notch instead of painted on. But you have to compromise. It probably costs a lot of money, and probably just not best to do that. It's good enough. It gives a look. And if you really want to have the notches, you can just do it yourself. At your own risk, of course. So, with the Tardis out of the packaging, this looks fabulous. It's definitely an updated paint from the original release, which was years ago, and that was more of a green. This is more of a blue, and this time it has whiter windows and these black painted on notches on the top and bottom. Police box signage and pull to open sign is the exact same as the original. So this is the front. This is the side. This is the back of the box. Back to the other side. And back to the front. This Tardis also comes with an interior. So let's have a look at that. There we are. This is, I think, the first time a B&M Tardis set has had a interior card. But not only that, as you've seen previously, this did come with a 13th Doctor Tardis interior. So you can swap them, although for me this is very difficult to get out and swap because, again, I explained earlier, it's just too wide. So if you try to reach around and grab it out, it's behind the door at this post, essentially. So good luck trying to get it out without bending it. This is the 14th Doctor, 15th Doctor interior, I think. Yeah, so this is the 14th Doctor's interior, because 15 had a jukebox. And I believe this is not the correct perspective of the TARDIS doors. I believe the TARDIS doors is more this way. The jukebox should be around in this corner, but it's not there. So, that tells me it's not 15's interior, it's 14's. But that's an easy fix. You can print one off and stick it inside. No problem. That is essentially it. Now, sound effects. The last time we did get a sound effect TARDIS, it was the Bradley box. There are some online criticism that this is missing 2 sound effects. This has already been debunked, because this is a re-release of the original 13 box. The original 13 box had a long takeoff and a long landing sequence. That's essentially all you need for a TARDIS. The short takeoff and short landing was present on the original classic boxes. The classic boxes had the short takeoff and short landing, but on the Bradley box it had both the short and the long variant. So this 13, 14, 15 box, whatever you want, only has the long one. So to me, it makes perfect sense not to have the short takeoff and landing. It doesn't matter anyway. What you should be annoyed at is that if they had the short one and not the long one, because it's essentially cheaping out if you use the short one and not the long one. So they gave you the long one. It's not cheapening out if they didn't give you the short one. Because, to be honest, who gives a shit? Now, before I put the batteries in, pretty straightforward. You need 3 AAA batteries. Unscrew this screw down here, pull the plate out, put the 3 in, put it back on, put the switch to on, and then the little button there will go wing, and there you go, 4P. Okay, so got it. I'm going to turn this on. And we're going to place this down. Okay, so that was the landing sequence. Again, why would you complain that there's no short variant? It doesn't matter. That's the one you only need. So, that is going to continue flashing until it goes into battery saving mode. So we're going to take it off for the takeoff sound effect. And that's it. Now I do notice that I think they frosted the LED a little bit. It's definitely different from the original. I might do a comparison on that at some point. But yeah, that's the 2 sound effects, and trust me, I've tested this before. There is no extra sound effects, as is with the original release too. So, yep. That's the electronics. Overall, it's a nice toy. It's a nice toy of the new series box from the 60th onwards. I don't really have much criticisms of this. Now, again, as you've read and watched recently in this video, you would understand all of the compiled issues that I have brought forward about this Tardis release. So if we just take that out of the equation right now, and we focus on the best of the best, essentially, this release, I think it's a fantastic Tardis. For the deal of 20 quid for a Tardis that has electronics, 2 interior cards, it has updated paints, and the windows are more white, the silver ends, or the pane things. Despite all of its issues of, a 1 in 5 or a 2 in 5 chance of getting a dud Tardis, kind of, when it comes to the issues that are going on with these boxes, I still say it's a good deal. It's got the correct details, it's got electronics, it's got 2 swappable cards, that's 20 quid. It's really not that bad. It's a great set. It's good for the price, I would say. So, yep, I don't really have much criticisms other than I think the quality control was a little crap this time around, given all the things that has happened with this box and people's experiences. But other than that, TARDIS, 2 swappable interiors, one being 13 and one being 14s, even though this is 15s. I'd still say it's a good deal. Highly recommend. Now, I'm going to note this again. I think this is the last ever TARDIS that we're going to get. Based off of the molding issues that I have raised before in this video, I really think it's on its last legs. I don't think B&M is ever going to get another Tardis release. Like, never. We're never going to get another one of those. Now, I might be proven wrong on that, but that's just what I believe. I don't think we're getting another box.
So, in usual fashion, I forget to record the end of this video. Ah, how lovely. So, with everything said, I enjoy the set. Really recommend it. I know that the issues that I have raised may be questionable for people that when they go to buy it. What I would say is, you can go buy one, and if it's got a problem, you can always return it for a new one. And, or if you decide to keep it, you can definitely fix it if it's got an issue. It's really not that hard to fix. Unless you get a molding issue, then ooh, that might be a little bit more difficult to do. But anyway, hope you guys really enjoyed my review. Hope you guys stuck around because this is an extra long video. Please like, subscribe, and comment what you think about it. Should I do more videos like this? Do you want to see more reviews? Let me know. And what do you think about this set? Do you think it's a good deal for all the things that we get in it? Do you think it's a good deal with all the issues that are problematic with it? Let me know below. Anyways, I'll see you guys later, and keep your stick on the ice.